Excuse me, I read an interesting story this morning from businessnewsdaily.com. I read it a couple times a week, Business News Daily, or as often as it comes. There's a lot of great information. And today there was a blog by David Mielach. He's a staff writer at Business News Daily. He titled it 25 Big Ideas and Trends and Predictions for 2013. I wanted to share those with you. The first that David talks about is the job search will change. He said that his point mainly was that within social media, future employers find their candidates and information about their candidates. About 73% of new job searches were realized in social media, and that in and of itself is a fantastic phenomenon. But David said that's going to change. He's got one change and I've got another change. His change was that search and Google is becoming more and more important in the job search area. And he said that Google has 11 billion queries per month, of which 226 million of those are job related. So once again, it's search, how we find those things, how we find that information that we want. And I think that job queries are going to change dramatically in 2013 with all of those folks who have been looking for a job and really want a job and are looking and are having challenges finding one. And we've talked a lot about why there are challenges in finding a job. They're going to start businesses in 2013, and we are very, very focused on those folks who want to start a business. In fact, I just announced this weekend that I will be publishing my third book in 2013. The title of the book is How Do You Answer These 749 Questions About Starting Your 2013 Small Business. 5 years ago tomorrow's the 5th anniversary of my original book, my first book, How Do You Answer These 749 Questions About Your Small Business. And now we're going to ask 749 questions about starting your 2013 business, although this time we're going to answer those questions, and that's going to be the whole purpose of the book. And we're going to share with you the different ways that we will answer the questions and using video, so that by the end of the year, and I haven't yet made the determination if I'm actually going to print the book and market it as a printed matter, or we're going to do, along the way, for sure, we're going to do YouTube videos and e-books. That is absolutely for sure. Whether or not we print a book at the end of the year, have not made that determination. But the other thing I wanted to mention is that anybody who is a member of David's Barter community and starts a business in 2013, they will have some type of inclusion in this book that we will be publishing in 2013. You can get more information about that by visiting David's SmallBizDavid's Foundation, SmallBizDavidFoundation.org, SmallBizDavidFoundation.org. Okay, another major prediction for this year: electronic signatures will continue to grow. Electronic signatures have always been very, very important. Legal documents are permissible in a court of law. Electronic signatures are permissible. We know that when insurance companies will allow electronic signatures, that they are very, very commonplace. And in fact, I was a part of in the early days, probably around the year 2000. I was involved with an insurance company in a marketing capacity, and they were one of the very first, if not the first company to allow an electronic signature for an insurance policy, number one. And they were the first insurance company, not the first business entity, but the first insurance company to actually sell insurance on the internet. And by the way, we've got a landing page in David's Barter community that we have worked out with them, and you can find it at davidsbarter.com/Young American Plan. It's a company called Globe Life. Another big change, the middle class will grow. Well, we know that's happening. We saw how important the middle class was in the election of President Obama to a second term. And it was the misreading of the middle class and the not understanding of what the real middle class was all about was perhaps the greatest single factor in the downfall of the Republicans in the last election. And to that point, we see a lot of well, we don't know, as I'm speaking right now with about 12 hours to go in 2012, if we're going to get pushed off that financial cliff or not. But certainly an important aspect of the financial cliff is how one defines the middle class and how important the middle class is to all the economic functions within our economy. Okay, companies will focus on being remarkable. Yes, companies always have to focus on being remarkable. How do you differentiate yourself from other folks that are doing the same thing that you're doing? There's millions of people doing what I do online. It's just the way that I do it is certainly very different than other folks. I haven't seen that for him, but that doesn't really matter. We all have our ways in doing things, but the marketplace perception of you must be that you are remarkable, and you can do remarkable things for those folks who engage in business relationships with you. BYOD will get bigger and smarter. More and more organizations across industries will institute bring your own device. It is with tablets and smartphones and all the things that are going on, that concept becomes more important all the time. Brands will become publishers. We don't need to say anything more than our brand, SmallBizDavid in quotation marks, and David's Barter. Those are our two brands. We have been heavily involved in publishing the way that we do it. And you heard me mention just a few moments ago that I will actually be publishing my third book, which will be dramatically different in how, not why we do it, why I'm doing it, but how I do it is going to be dramatically different than the first two books that I published. One I self-published, How to Answer These 749 Questions About Your Small Business. I put the book together myself. I manufactured the book with the help of a printer. I retained all the marketing rights and sales rights for the book. So that was my first venture into publishing. 2 years ago, I participated in a publishing project. Another friend of mine published the book. I only had one chapter in that book, and it was a different approach, very traditional, but that book became a bestseller, recognized by the National Academy of Best-Selling Authors, and I actually received my Quilly Award for my participation in that project. Brands will and are, not will become, but are publishers today. Social networks will morph yes, we all have some type of involvement with social networks. And so it's that involvement and the value that association with those communities brings into our lives that determines how we spend our time. It's just mind-boggling to me, and I don't know what 2013 will show, that over 500 million people spend over 3 hours a day on Facebook. That is just a phenomenal piece of data, and I don't know where that's going to go in 2013, but it's certainly the concept of association with social networks and morphing very, very important. Crowdfund investing will grow. You've heard us talk a lot about crowdfund investing. Crowdfunding is an opportunity for you as an entrepreneur, either a small business owner or one starting a business, an opportunity for you to raise outside investment for your company. And the Congress made some legislations and passed some guidelines that makes it more favorable for companies to get involved in crowdfunding, to actually make those investments into businesses like yours or like mine. So crowdfunding is going to become even more important. Socialized job candidates will rise. With an improving economy, the class of 2013, having been born in 1991 and becoming peer and tech aware in the age of AOL and modern social networks, will in part choose employers based on the company's demonstrated commitment to social media engagement. If you haven't figured that out yet, where you've been hiding. Mobile video consumption will continue to explode. Absolutely it will. If you follow me, you certainly know the value that I place in video, and you can in fact watch any of my YouTubes mobily. So it's extremely important because more and more folks are using their smartphones. As a matter of fact, 2012 was the first year in our history where PCs did not dominate at least 50% of the marketplace. Something other than PCs, and included certainly our mobile phones. Mobile video. It's going to be the year of the employee. I don't really know what that means. What they say is that 2012 and 11 and 10, when there were massive layoffs and there was more demands made on less employees within a company, those employees had to work harder. And guess what happened? The good side of what happened was their productivity increased. Our country's productivity is growing at about 2%. That is unbelievable growth. It is great for small business owners. It's horrible if you were an employee before and got laid off. You're not going to get your job back with increased productivity and more demands being made on employees. But they say that 2013 will be the year of the employee. The use of sensors will grow. Basically, that is individuals like myself who take multiple medications. I take 3 different pills, 2 for blood pressure and heart rate, 1 for thinning my blood. If I forget to take one of my medications, well, definitely if I forget to take my blood thinner, that is a real challenge. I can forget to take a dose of my blood pressure and heart rate medication because of other aspects of my lifestyle, but I'm going to look into that whole sensor thing, see what that's all about. More people will participate in internships. Oh my goodness. I hope that's not instead of having a paying job, but internships are important. Internships, particularly when you're in college or in even high school, an internship allows you to be challenged with the skills that you are learning in school. At the same time, you can learn if the particular industry focus of where you think you want to be is really where you'll end up, or finding out that that's where you want to be. You might think it, but you'll find it out very clearly in an internship. Social media will continue its evolution as always. Content marketing will grow. Yes, my content marketing is growing on a daily basis. If you are thinking about starting a business in 2013, and I hope you are, or you have a business, put particular focus on content marketing. And you can learn all you need to know about content marketing by being a member of David's Barter community. Small businesses go global. There's always opportunity to go global, but I don't really understand that concept as being really something new and different. With the internet, a small business individual like myself can go global in the next 5 minutes. In fact, the live streaming that I do at stickham.com 7 days a week at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have found, because of the time differential, I have a large following in Europe with the information that I share, with the broadcasts that I do every morning at stickham.com, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Generation Y steps up. Yes, Generation Y is as important on their end of the spectrum, those born after 1980, as baby boomers are on their end of the spectrum, those folks born between the years of 1946 and 1964, of which I'm a proud member, being born in the third year of the baby boom. But Generation Y is a more savvy generation. Interesting enough, we, the baby boomers, are the parents of those Gen Yers. I have two sons, aged 25 and 24, who are in that Generation Y category. So I'm very, very familiar with how significant and important it is. Mobile shopping gets optimized. Not going to say too much about that, other than if you don't know much about mobile technology, you must learn it and how to apply it for your business, because more and more folks are using their mobile devices to make the choices that they make in a day's time. So it's incumbent upon you, if you want to continue to communicate with those folks and do sales with those folks, that you understand their behaviors and you understand how they use their mobile devices. Smartphones become smart personal shopping assistants. They always have been. That's why they're smart. Finding top IT talent may be a challenge. They say may be a challenge. Finding top IT talent is always a challenge. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for some IT talent right now for our community. If you have any interest with some skill sets that you have, please either email me, SmallBizDavid at davidsbarter.com, or better yet, join our community, register to become a member, establish a community marketing profile for yourself. No cost to do either one of those things. As soon as you become create your profile, you'll be able to send me a message directly to SmallBizDavid. Messages in our community stay in our community. They don't go anywhere. Nobody intercepts them. They stay inside of our firewalls. So if you have any IT skills, let me know. The emphasis on health will continue. Not a real provocative statement. The emphasis on health should always be there. A healthy employee is a more productive employee, is a more profitable employee. It's incumbent upon employers or employees to be as healthy as they possibly can. You'll do much better at what it is that you do. And by the way, if you need some cardiovascular training and you're in Cincinnati, Ohio, I have classes Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 7:30 a.m. And Monday evening at 5:30 and Saturday morning at 8:20. Mobile central products will increase. We've already kind of mentioned that. Personalization will grow. Be very careful. You must do personalization because that brings you closer to your customer, closer to your prospect. But don't try to fake your customer or prospect with fake personalization. I see too much of it every day. It's not just about putting your name in the greeting of an email. That's a step number one in personalization. It goes much deeper than that. Mobile central products will increase. Social media needs to show ROI. ROI, if you don't know, stands for return on investment. Yes, everything we do needs to show return on investment, but I add another word to that. I say RORI, return on resource investment. That resource might be time, that resource might be money. Either way, the individual who's investing that time or that money, they must have some kind of value. They must be able to measure that return on resource investment. And the final one, big data injects information science into relationship selling. Big data, small data, I don't differentiate between the two. I say important data. Data and information that you get about your customers, about your prospects. It's big, it's small, it's important. And information science is being built into that relationship selling because it's so very important. It's the information science that's collecting all of that information. And we collect it, we need to analyze it, we need to understand it so we can build better relationships with our customers and our future customers, our prospects. A few predictions for 2013. Thank you to David Mielach, and thank you to Business News Daily for publishing it.